With just 1 year left on his Bayern Munich contract, Serge Gnabry is still yet to renew. So with Bayern closing into the signing of Sadio Mane, the German is all but set to leave Bavaria. So let's find out what Fabrizio Romano has had to say about a potential Arsenal transfer. Is Gabriel Jesus closing into a move to the Emirates? And are the Gunners set to offer William Saliba a brand new contract? Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14. Welcome back to your boys channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. If you enjoy the content, you guys know what to do. Go down there, smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are closing into 90k and the support that you guys are showing is gargantuan. But let's get into all of the latest Arsenal transfer news. And starting off with, of course, the Arsenal transfer plans, because Mikel Arteta has been speaking and he's given the Arsenal fans an outline of what Arsenal want to do in this brand new transfer window. He says, now we have cleared the deck and we have to start to add top quality pieces that are not necessarily 18, 19 or 20 years old. We will do whatever it takes to get better in every department this summer. We have heard about the Arsenal Youth Project, the youngest team in the Premier League, but Mikel Arteta says the time has arrived now to add quality pieces of players that are experienced. Arteta says not only the age group, but in terms of quality, in terms of leadership, in terms of the goal threats, in terms of physicality of the team, we need to improve as well, so there are a lot of areas. Essentially what Arteta is saying is that Arsenal require some top caliber, world-class proven players that can come into this Arsenal side, give us that strength, that steel, the experience to coach through the younger players. One player that every single Arsenal fan is trying their hardest not to believe in, but the dreams are still there, the hope is there, and that player of course is Bayern Munich's ex-Arsenal player in Serge Gnabry. The last that we heard from Build was that Bayern were open to selling Gnabry for 40 million euros. And today we have an update from Fabrizio Romano, who confirms that Bayern have been in negotiations with Serge Gnabry about a contract extension since October. They have made a new proposal worth around 10 million euros net per season in the recent days. But Gnabry has not yet accepted the offer and Bayern have no plans to go beyond this figure. A take it or leave it type of proposal, and essentially what they're saying to Serge Gnabry is, if you don't accept this contract, then my friend, we're going to have to let you go. And the key here for Arsenal Football Club is that this is not about the Champions League or winning the Champions League. This is a matter of Serge Gnabry wanting to feel valued and wanting to get the money that he thinks he deserves. And if it is those wages that Gnabry wants so badly, certainly Arsenal can offer him that. But on the Gunners, Fabrizio says that to this date, there is no offer from Arsenal for Gnabry, but he could be a top name on the market. Real Madrid have discussed him internally in February, but never made an offer, with their priority being to strengthen their midfield. But in terms of Bayern Munich themselves, they are active in the transfer market and they are making moves. As Fabrizio confirms that Sadio Mane is set to leave Liverpool this summer, and the Bayern are the strong contenders. The fact that Munich are signing a goal-scoring forward type of winger, an experienced player that will want to play 30 minutes, Mane and Gnabry are pretty similar profiles, so one can imagine that Mane will be a Gnabry replacement. My biggest fear remains Real Madrid. These guys are the current champions of Europe. They are competing on all the biggest fronts, and they certainly have the finances because they were close to signing Kylian Mbappe. But on Madrid, according to Di Marzio, after having to give up on Mbappe, Real Madrid have no plans to sign another player with those characteristics. Real Madrid don't want to really sign an out-and-out winger, and even Fabrizio's confirmed their main priority is to strengthen their midfield, with the likes of Tchouaméni costing upwards of 80 million euros their main transfer targets. Even though they have discussed Gnabry internally, as things stands, there is no forthcoming offer and the interest seems to be just pretty precautionary. But if Madrid aren't in the conversation, then in my opinion, what's then stopping Arsenal from going there to bringing back Gnabry and having a free run at the German international? Mikel Arteta has pointed out that Arsenal want to sign level raisers and quality players. And you look at Gnabry's overall stats radar from the last season, this guy is a genuine world-class player. Dribbles per 90, goals per 90, assists per 90, XG change and XG build up, all the in-depth metrics. 26 years of age, the peak of his powers, price tag being 40 million euros, which is 35 million pounds. Wages that Arsenal could pay if they wanted to, and the player has made clear on plenty of occasions in the past that Arsenal remain firmly in the player's hearts. And even when he was asked on if he watches Arsenal back in March 2022, he says, if possible, I'm watching the games because I still carry the gun in my heart. Of course I'm happy when Arsenal's playing well and win, especially now. Arsenal is coming back strong longer. The gun remains in the heart of Serge. I've watched plenty of interviews where he said leaving Arsenal was his hardest ever decision, and that fact that he's also a massive fan of London the city. So for Arsenal's sake, I do believe there is some sort of reciprocation there. I'm not saying he's coming to the Emirates. I still think there are other clubs that are, I guess, better than Arsenal as things stand. They can offer him the finances. But what are your honest thoughts on Gnabry, the player? And if Arsenal hypothetically were to sign him, is he the caliber, the quality of player that could take us to the next level? Keeping it on the forward line and talking about Gabriel Jesus, as David Ornstein says that as far as he knows, Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah are the current priority for Arsenal in the plan for the strikers. And for many Arsenal fans, they have looked at that and said it's kind of underwhelming. Now in Eddie Nketiah, he is about to get a bumper brand new Arsenal contract worth up to potentially 100k a week if bonuses are reached. Great end to last season, and now at 23 years of age, he's into his pre-peak years and he's getting better as a player, and who's to say that he can't explode next year? But there is still a massive risk behind that if he's going to be Arsenal's go-to striker in the race for the Champions League, when Spurs have got Kane, you've got Liverpool's front line, you've got Man City and Chelsea and Man United. You then add Gabriel Jesus, who seems to be Arsenal's priority as many people have confirmed, and he's a great player and there's so many things to like about him. I do like his profile, but my biggest concern is his goal scoring pedigree. With Saka scoring 11 and Martinelli at a similar level, I think Arsenal need that 20 goal season striker, a prolific goal scorer that is a box predator. And while Jesus excels outside the box, inside the box he's got great movement, but his finishing isn't the best, or hasn't been so far in his career. Granted though, saying that, he does have a very decent minutes per goal ratio in the Premier League, and maybe that's where Mikel Arteta sees the vision. Fabrizio Romano says that Arsenal are still waiting for answers from Gabriel Jesus of the positive talks with his agents. He is the priority target for Arteta, but also interest from other clubs. We can expect a final decision soon, with Man City asking for a 50 to 60 million euro fee for the player. For that sort of price tag, and the fact that we've also given Nketiah a brand new contract, is Jesus actually going to be Arsenal's go-to number 9 signing? Well, according to Michael Bridge of Sky Sports, he thinks that is the case, as he claims that Jesus has been told by Edu that he will be Arsenal's number 9. And despite Man City entertaining the likes of Tottenham being involved in a bidding war, Arsenal would stress that Jesus would be a central part. Look, Jesus is not leaving champions Man City, where they're winning so many trophies and are part of a truly great team, to come to the Emirates to sit on the bench. I'm sure many Arsenal fans have their doubts, but also Arsenal fans that like Jesus. But in your boy's opinion, if we are going to sign Jesus as our go-to number 9, it's then vitally important that we get that goal-scoring winger, and alongside a Jesus, he would also give this Arsenal team far more goals. And of course, in an ideal world, that player would be Serge Gnabry. Moving into the defence and the left back, let's talk Aaron Hickey, as according to Gazzetta dello Sport, Arsenal are pressing heavily with an offer of 25 million euros to sign defender Aaron Hickey, with it now being a very likely farewell expected for the player at Bologna. As things stand, Hickey to Arsenal looks like a very likely transfer, and in many ways, of course, as we've spoken about so many times on this channel, it does make so much sense. But as Mikel Arteta has said in the past, he wants to add experience as well, and Aaron Hickey being 19, well, has great potential. The fact that Arsenal also have rumoured interest in the likes of Alexander Zinchenko, maybe Arsenal are also looking at more experienced left-back options as well. Moving on, let's talk the future of Bernd Leno. A few years ago, Bernd Leno was that guy in the Arsenal goal, but since then, of course, Arsenal have signed Aaron Ramsdale, and he is Arteta's brand new number 1, with that ability to play out the back, to pass in composed situations, to why it seems like Arteta has moved on from Bernd Leno. But Leno is still a pretty accomplished goalkeeper who is now in the peak of his powers, and I just don't think he wants to remain as the Arsenal second choice, especially with the World Cup around the corner. Therefore, according to Charles Watts at Goal, they claim that Leno has said his goodbyes to those at the training ground, with nobody expecting the German to be at Arsenal at the end of the summer transfer window. The player has responded to this specific report on Twitter, and he has flat out denied it, posting a photo at the F1 joking, saying, "Breaking news, Leno joins the F1 as he was spotted yesterday at his front box in Monaco. Leno also says that your source is not the best." So straight from the horse's mouth, the player himself has confirmed that he has not said his goodbyes at Arsenal, and potentially he might even be staying. I still think he's going to leave Arsenal. I think he wants to play 30 minutes, and there are some top clubs around Germany and even the Premier League that have interest. The fact that Arsenal have also signed a brand new goalkeeper in Matt Turner out of the MLS, I think they know that Leno is going to leave, and therefore they've signed a brand new number 2. Moving on, according to L'Equipe, Arsenal will offer William Saliba a new contract this summer. This is the next step in the process for Arsenal and William Saliba. Arteta has confirmed his desire to bring Saliba back to the Emirates Stadium, but in terms of the player himself, he still seems to be keeping his cards pretty close to his chest. He has not confirmed an Arsenal return or a Marseille stay. Now at Marseille, Saliba is a guaranteed first team starter, and they also have the Champions League. And it's very key to point out that with the World Cup around the corner and Saliba being in the France squad, to remain in that very competitive environment, he needs to be playing regular first team minutes. Now thankfully at Arsenal we do have some other top centre backs like Gabriel Jesus and Ben White, but with that also kind of means that Saliba isn't a guaranteed starter. But now it is over to the Mbappe centre backs. Are you gonna accept Arsenal's proposal, sign that brand new contract and commit your long-term future to the Emirates Stadium? But talking about the Arsenal centre backs, what about Benjamin Blanco? Today it has been confirmed that Ben White has withdrawn from the England squad for the upcoming Nation League fixtures next month due to injury, and will continue his rehabilitation with the club. Now yes, he wants to play for his country, but these aren't the World Cup games, it's the Nation League, it's not as important. He's withdrawn from the squad so he can recover fully, and then going into the start of pre-season alongside William Saliba and Gabriel, it is going to be one almighty battle of the Arsenal centre backs to see which pairing comes out on top. With the bid to return to the Champions League, out of Saliba, Gabriel and Ben White, who do you guys want to see as the starting Arsenal centre back partnership? Let's move on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with the garms for next season. Now we've seen the Arsenal home kit and some fans love it, some fans don't, but what about the Arsenal away kits? Well, according to Arsenal Fixtures News, Arsenal will launch their away kits for the 2022-23 season on Wednesday the 20th of July in Orlando, and will then wear the kit in their pre-season friendly against Orlando City on the same day. This is the brand new Arsenal away kit, that black and gold design. It's nice, it's sleek, and many Arsenal fans seem to love this. What are your own thoughts on the kit itself, and if you were to rate it out of 10, let me know down below in the comments. On to an amazing thread from AFC James on Arsenal's Premier League stat leaders for 2021-22. In terms of the goals itself, of course number 1 is Bukayo Saka with 11 goals in the Premier League, followed by Emile Smith-Rowe, Martin Odegaard, Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Magalhaes with 5 goals, the most out of any centre back in the league. Even in terms of the assists, is once again Bukayo Saka coming out on top with 7 assists, but pre-Alexandre Lacazette in second with 7 assists, but with an expected assist of 1.9. The king of the key passes is Martin Odegaard with 76, 2.5 per 90 minutes. And even in terms of the goal creating actions, it is once again Bukayo coming out on top with 16. And no surprises here, but the king of the tackles is Thomas Partey with 41. And that just kind of goes to show there that Thomas Partey is the dual winner in the Arsenal midfield, and when he's not on the team, then Arsenal just don't have that tackling player in the midfield to win his battles and to allow Arsenal to impose themselves, to stay in pressure and to keep the ball. And finally you have the aerial duels won. No surprises that Gabriel Magalhaes is first with 68. But second place goes to Ben White with the same amount of aerial duels won and a 60% win rate. He came into Arsenal in his first game against Brentford. He was heavily scrutinised. Ben White can't win his head as well. According to the stats, 60% is up there with one of the best ratios in the Premier League. And Arsenal today have also announced that it's time to choose the 2021-22 Player of the Season, with the nominees being Emile Smith-Rowe, Martin Odegaard, Aaron Ramsdale, Bukayo Saka, Granit Xhaka and Ben White. Emile Smith-Rowe had a very good start, and in the first half he was electrifying, but the second half, whether it was injuries or fitness, he wasn't available, he wasn't starting, and he kind of burnt himself out. And the same case goes for Aaron Ramsdale and Ben White. Very good first seasons, but towards the end it kind of faded away. Martin Odegaard didn't have the best of starts, but in terms of the mid-season, he started to thrive and adapt to his Arsenal team. He is the king of the Arsenal key passes, he's Arsenal's tempo controller, but going into next year I want to see Odegaard impose himself, especially more in the away games. Granit Xhaka of course missed so much of the first half, but the second half, without Thomas Partey, he has held it down. But for me, the obvious answer of Arsenal's Player of the Year, Arsenal's highest goal contributor, it has to be for me, Bukayo Saka. But that is just your boys' opinion, so talk to me about yourselves, and out of all the players there, who do you guys think deserves to be the Arsenal Player of the Year? But that is the video, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, make sure to go down there to smash a like, to subscribe to the channel if you you are new. Follow up your boy on all of those social medias if you would like to. The links will be down below in the description. But that was all of today's latest Arsenal news, and whether it's Serge Gnabry or Gabriel Jesus, it looks like Arsenal are gonna have a very active transfer window. Drama, twists and turns to come. Let's see what happens, and I'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves, and in a bit.